Welcome back to another Vinyl Finds video, and this is probably going to be my last Vinyl Finds video of the year 2015. It's honestly crazy to me to think that 2015 is already almost over. It honestly seems like it just started, but here we are at the end of the year already, and kind of mind-boggling, but I do have some more records to show, and I figured I would do at least one more Vinyl Finds video for the year 2015, so let's get straight into it and start showing them off. The first couple albums I'm actually going to show I got at Half Price Books, a couple different stops there. And the first one I'm going to show is Saxon, Innocence is No Excuse, album that originally came out in 1985, and this particular version is the Back on Black 2012 reissue. And I mean, just a really solid album. Probably not my favorite Saxon album, but it is a really good one. I really enjoy it. And the Saxon albums, I just really don't come across really ever out in the open. For some reason, it seems like they're hard to come by here. But I picked this one up when I saw it, and it's kind of on this apple cider looking brown collar. But definitely a unique collar for a record. But definitely was glad to get this one. What's cool about this particular copy, the second disc has a bunch of like bonus tracks and live tracks that's not on the original one. So cool that they added that on there as well. And just an amazing band. I love Saxon. I actually saw Saxon back in September with Crowbot and Motorhead. And I mean, just a really cool concert. Just that lineup itself, because I actually got the tickets just thinking I was going to see Motorhead in a week or two. Before that, I found out that Saxon was actually going to open up for them, so I was really excited about that. And Saxon put on a great show, and I honestly think they stole the show. Not that the other guys didn't do a great job either, but I was really happy to see them in a concert. And I actually really want to get their new album that came out a couple months ago at some point, Battering Ram. I just actually not been able to find the actual record anywhere for some reason. I seen this CD, and it's at FYE, and it was kind of expensive. And then the Vinyl Rescue Project actually did have the box set with the CD and the record, and it was kind of more than I wanted to pay itself too. So hopefully I can actually come across just the record itself and pick that up for hopefully less than $60. But definitely hope to find that sometime, hopefully in 2016. But I did have some other items that I bought at Half Price Books. The first one, or the next one, is the Rolling Stones, Get Your Ya-Ya's Out, the Rolling Stones live in concert. Just an album that I've always come across, and just never bought it because it was either too expensive or the condition wasn't the greatest. So I was always kind of looking for that right copy, and I finally found one here, and it's an original 1970 European pressing on the Decca label. And it's in great shape, and got it for like $8 at a Half Price Book, so can't really go wrong with that. So definitely glad I was able to finally pick that one up. Another one to the Rolling Stones collection. And speaking of live albums, I did pick up another live album at Half Price Books. It's one that I've been meaning to pick up for a while. It's Nirvana Live at Reading, 1992. Just one that I definitely been needing to get for a while. It's just a great live album from Nirvana. Of course, this one originally came out in 2009. Just a great track list as well. I mean, all the songs, just hearing them live, it's just a really cool concert. I'm sure if you're a fan of Nirvana, you've seen the Reading Festival '92 concert that they put on. But definitely glad I was able to pick up that one. And speaking of Nirvana, I did pick up their newest album. Well, not their newest album, just the newest one that came out, the Greatest Hits, that finally came out on vinyl. This particular copy was supposed to come out in August, and then I got pushed back to November, and then it finally came out in December. Of course, it originally came out in 2002. Even though this album kind of hypes up that it's the first time it's ever been released on vinyl, I think it did come out in 2002 on vinyl in Europe, and I think the original copy had more tracks on it, and for some reason I think there's like 2 or 3 tracks that they took off of this one, but they did release 2 different versions of the Greatest Hits this time around. They had one that was just a single LP that was on 33 speed, and this particular copy is on 2 LPs, and it plays on 45 speed, and it does sound really good. One of the main reasons I actually got this is because I really like the song. You know you're right, and of course it's only available on their greatest hits, so I kind of pick it up for that. But I mean, nothing really too special. I mean, I actually have like every single song on here on record already from just having like, all the albums itself. But I figured I definitely wanted to pick that one up to have, you know, just another one to add to the collection. But nothing really too special there. But cool that it finally came out. And I actually picked that up at Barnes & Noble, and while I was at Barnes & Noble, I actually did pick up Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. One that I've been kind of debating on getting for a while, and I finally just about bought it when I picked that up. Just a really great album from Alanis Morissette. I think probably her best album. And I'm not like the biggest Alanis Morissette fan. I'm not really super familiar with her entire discography, but I know this album is just a really solid album from her. So definitely glad I was able to pick that one up as well. And then I did go to a couple albums at the Vinyl Rescue Project. The first one being a really nice copy of the Jesus Lizards, their album that came out in 1992. Still in the shrink wrap, and just a solid copy. It honestly looks like it's never been played before. But I really enjoyed this album as well. It's one that I've had on CD for a long time, so I'm glad to finally be able to get it on vinyl. Then I did pick up a couple albums at the Vinyl Rescue Project the other day, and it's actually the Black Crowes, Shake Your Money Maker. I'm so glad that the Black Crowes reissued. I think they reissued their first 3 albums on vinyl, and I think they're going to issue more, I think next month or so. So definitely glad that they came out with these reissues, because the original ones are just really expensive if you can find them, probably hundreds of dollars, but these reissues are definitely really solid. They sound fantastic. This was probably their biggest known album, with, or at least their album that produced probably the most hits, I would say. At least personally, from where I'm from, the songs that I hear on the radio from the Black Crowes are like Jealous Again and She Talks to Angels, and those are all on their first album, which originally came out in 1990. So definitely glad that they came out with that finally. And the reissue that I was looking forward to the most is the Black Crowes Emorica, and it's just one that, I mean, it's just so insanely expensive if you can find it online, and an original copy that is, and so definitely is better to pay $30 for it than $150, but definitely just an iconic cover as well. I think they actually got in trouble for this cover, like at Walmart and Kmart's and stuff, and they had to reissue the CD with a block box around it, and we could just see like the triangle flag. But just a really great album from the Black Crowes, the cover aside. Just so many great songs on here. This is probably one of my favorite Black Crow albums, so definitely glad I was able to get that one. I still need to get their second album, which the Vinyl Rescue Project had. I mean, at the time, with Christmas coming up and everything, I couldn't drop like $100 on the records right now, but I'm sure I'll pick it up eventually. Definitely glad that they actually reissued those, and it makes it affordable now to actually pick up and own. But the next 2 albums I have to show are albums that I actually ordered on Discogs. I mean, I always putting stuff on my want list, and sometimes they send you emails when the stuff pops up that you have on your want list if it was newly added. So there's a couple albums that I popped up there, and I had jumped on them pretty quickly because the prices on them were such great deals that I couldn't pass up on them. And the first one is the Foo Fighters' first album, an original 1995 copy. One that I've been kind of wanting to get for a while, and it seems like it usually goes for, it's like $50, $60 online. It's kind of a little bit more than I wanted to pay. I got this one for probably like, I think it was like $25 or $30, so it was a really good deal. And the guy that I actually bought it from said there was like water damage right there. And it's actually kind of funny because it's actually just a part of the cover. I don't think there's like actually any water damage to it, just how the cover actually is. If you've ever seen the album cover, it's just how they all are. But overall, it's actually in really good shape as well. It has the insert. I will say when I got this album, it was probably the dirtiest album that I've ever seen. There's so much stuff just caked on the album itself that I actually took it to the Vinyl Rescue Project and I had him VPI clean it for me. And once he did that, it actually looks excellent and plays excellent. But I mean, it was probably literally the dirtiest album that I've ever seen. But definitely glad that I was able to get it clean. And I mean, it sounds really great. And I actually saw this album at the Irvington Vinyl, an original one still sealed for $100 when I went in there earlier this year. So a little bit more than I wanted to pay there, but definitely glad I was able to get this one for a pretty good price and pick that one up off Discogs. And then the last album I'm going to show is another one that I honestly just can't believe that I was able to get. Just another one that I was probably one of the ones that was top 3 on my want list for a long time, right up there with Pearl Jam No Code. And it's actually another Pearl Jam album that I got this one on Discogs, and I got an email when it popped up on my when I got the email from when it was on my want list. It popped up, and I honestly couldn't believe the price. It was such a cheap price for what it usually goes for. So I kind of thought it was like a mistake at first, and it's actually Pearl Jam Yield. And one of the reasons why it was so cheap, obviously, if you see right there, it is missing the insert. So that kind of sucks. But, I mean, the fact that I probably literally got this for, I would say, over $100 cheaper than what it usually goes for. And there's a couple of dings and stuff on the cover. But it's nothing too bad, really. And the record itself plays really nice. I probably will eventually get it VPI cleaned to get it cleaned a little bit better, but I mean, it's a pretty decent copy for what I paid for it. And the only thing that I kind of hate is that it doesn't have the insert, because you have that die cut cover, so it looks a little silly with just empty space there. But hopefully, I'll either be able to find the insert sometime. And pick that up. But the weird thing is, it actually still has the Pearl Jam Yield sticker with the album. So I thought that was kind of weird that the sticker was still there, but the sleeve wasn't not in there anymore. But kind of weird, because you think the sticker, if anything, would be the thing that's missing than the sleeve. But definitely still super glad to be able to pick this up on vinyl, despite the fact that there's no sleeve in there. Just not, and it's really just a small deal, honestly. It's not a huge deal at all. And it's just a fantastic album from Pearl Jam. An album that I honestly can't believe I got it for what I got it for. I mean, you can definitely find deals on the internet and on Discogs every once in a while. Stuff will pop up like this, and you have to jump on it probably pretty quickly. And actually, the particular seller that I bought this from was a record store out of Chicago. I believe it was called Gramophone Records. And so they're pretty nice guys, and they definitely price things fairly, for sure. But I mean, of course, I love the song "Given the Fly," "Do the Evolution." I mean, there's honestly, in my opinion, not a bad song on this album, but definitely super surprised that I was able to get that. And especially about a month or so after I was able to get No Code. So 2 huge albums I was able to knock off of my my want list. And now I think I only need like 3 Pearl Jam albums now to have all their studio albums. And it's probably not going to happen anytime soon, because I've actually seen Riot Act, and I've seen their self-titled one with the avocado on the front of it at Luna Music just earlier this year, and they're $250 a piece, so I couldn't jump on that one. But hopefully sometime they'll either reissue their stuff, or I'll be able to find original ones and get lucky. But I'm not holding my breath anytime soon, although I was really pleasantly surprised to be able to find Yield at such a great price. But that is all the records I have to show. Thanks again, guys, for watching. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And thanks again, guys, for watching. Definitely give all those 2